You're probably curious about this title. So today let's remember the most successful fighter group to support the Afrika Korps, Neumann's Cabaret. Roll the intro. Let's get started, but don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, and follow us on Instagram. Let's make a deal. If you enjoy this video, share it with a friend who also likes military history. Let's do this. You asked for it, so the channel will deliver. Let's discuss the Afrika Korps and the German North African campaign from 1941 to 1943. But since this is a very big topic to cover properly in just one video, we're going to use the Jack the Ripper approach. We'll take it step by step. Today, we'll discuss the first fighter unit that supported Rommel in North Africa. This was the Jagdgeschwader 27, or the 27th Fighter Wing. This unit always operated the iconic Messerschmitt Bayerische Flugzeugwerke 109 in various versions, and it was organized as follows. The command of Jagdgeschwader 27 had its own fighter squadron, which was called the Stab. Next came the Gruppen, or fighter groups, each with 3 Staffel or squadrons. Each Staffel had at least 12 aircraft, so we can say that each group had 36 aircraft. The Jagdgeschwader 27 initially had 3 fighter groups, and later a 4th group was added during the war. And the guy who made all this work and commanded the unit during its most successful period was Major Eduard Neumann, or Edu Neumann for those who were close to him. Neumann was born on June 5, 1911, in a village called Molodia. Today it's in Ukraine, but the population is of Romanian origin. In 1911, that was part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. It's confusing, but I think you can handle it. Neumann moved to Germany in the early 30s, and there he began his passion for flying, joining one of the many gliding clubs, that is, sailplanes, that existed in the country. In the year 1934, he became a German citizen, and in that same year, he was called to the still-secret Luftwaffe as a commercial pilot. The next year, Hitler revealed his new air force to the world, and Neumann was assigned to Jagdgeschwader II, Richthofen, which was a tribute to Baron Manfred von Richthofen, the ace from the First World War, famously known as the Red Baron. After 2 years at officer school, in 1937, Neumann was commissioned as a lieutenant and soon sent to Spain. In Spain, the Spanish Civil War was taking place, and Hitler had sent an air contingent called the Condor Legion to help the nationalists of General Francisco Franco, his ally. Arriving in Spain, Neumann was assigned to the 3rd Squadron of Jagdgruppe 88, or Fighter Group 88. That squadron at the time was commanded by a young lieutenant whose name nobody knows, called Adolf Galland. At the time, Germans flew a biplane in Spain called the Heinkel HE-51, which performed worse than the Italian Fiat CR-32. If you want to learn about the Fiat CR-32, click this video above. On September 4th, 1937, Neumann flew his first operational mission. That day, he was flying quite a bit behind Adolf Galland when he noticed a Polikarpov Overcruise 15 from the Republican forces approaching his leader from behind. He immediately accelerated and moved in to intercept. He opened fire with his machine guns, and the Polikarpov went down in flames. The following year, after the group replaced the Heinkels with the new Messerschmitt 109S, Neumann managed to shoot down a Polikarpov, his 16, on June 11, 1938. Shortly after that, however, he was sent back to Germany after a year of operations in Spain. That practical experience wasn't wasted. Neumann was given command of the 4th Staffel of Jagdgeschwader 26. But now tell me something. What's your favorite Luftwaffe aircraft? Let me know in the comments and share why you like it. In 1940, Neumann was promoted to captain and transferred to the staff of Jagdgeschwader 27. On July 20th, 1940, the commander of the first group of Jagdgeschwader 27, Captain Helmut Riegel, died in combat, becoming the first of 5 commanders of that group to lose their lives that way in World War II. The curious thing is that none of the commanders of the other groups of Jagdgeschwader 27 lost their lives. The curse was only on the first group. With Riegel's death, Neumann was appointed to command the first group the very next day. During the Battle of Britain, he shot down a total of 6 aircraft, among them 4 Hurricanes and 1 Spitfire. And it was right around this time, when the group was based in Gien, on the French coast of the English Channel, that Neumann acquired a beautiful wooden traveling circus wagon, which had a bedroom, a kitchen, and a living room. He started using this wagon as a dormitory and a mobile command post. After some time in command of the group, his paternalistic and friendly style ended up creating a very cohesive environment in which the pilots felt very comfortable and like members of a special group. And precisely because of that, they called themselves Neumann's Bunte Bühne, which means Neumann's lively cabaret. The chief apparently liked this tribute, and soon the inscription was painted in white in big bold letters on the sides of the wagon. And look how curious, even without any hint that one day they would operate in Africa. Since 1940, the aircraft of Jagdgeschwader 27 had African insignias, and this came from their new commander, Major Wolfgang Schellmann, who was an enthusiast of the old German colonies. He was so enthusiastic, he even wore the colonial helmet in Europe. But on April 18th, 1941, Neumann's first group was transferred to the Neumann airfield in Ain el-Ghazala, Libya, becoming the first Luftwaffe fighter unit to support Rommel in the desert. There, the first group quickly began its long list of victories against the British Desert Air Force aircraft. The greatest of these stars was a 21-year-old lieutenant named Hans-Joachim Marseille. Marseille had even been kicked out of his squadron in Jagdgeschwader 52 by Johannes Steinhoff because of his terrible behavior. Marseille often spent whole nights with his new girlfriend, sometimes disappearing and waking up the next day hungover from drinking. That really tested Steinhoff's patience, so he sent him to Neumann with the message, "Now he's your problem." Luckily, in North Africa, there weren't any women around for Marseille. Neumann's influence was crucial in getting him on track, even though he always was. Rommel was a man of action. He didn't care about the prohibitions from his Italian superiors, and he quickly set up a reconnaissance in force that ended up becoming a major offensive against the British positions in Cyrenaica. And who was there to give him air support? Neumann's Cabaret. The group was equipped with the Bayerische Flugzeugwerke 109E. The Emil was superior to all enemy fighters operating in North Africa, and the initial successes gave the pilots a feeling of security and superiority in numbers. The main advantage of the Bayerische Flugzeugwerke 109E was its excellent performance, high dive speed, and good armament. The aircraft could fly freie Jagd, or free hunt, in smaller formations. And through this, it offered good opportunities for talented and aggressive pilots to show their skills. Some pilots like Marseille, Homuth, and others took great advantage of this. Between June and November of 1941, Neumann, even while in command, shot down 5 more Hurricanes, bringing his final total to 13 aircraft shot down. He only stopped flying operational missions when the British began their counteroffensive to Operation Crusader in November of 1941, and Jagdgeschwader 27 lost all its positions, having to return to the starting point in Tripolitania. Despite these resources, the first group's fame continued to grow in Germany, and this was largely due to the extensive media coverage of Marseille's growing victories. And these successes were consolidated on February 21, 1942, when Marseille shot down his 50th enemy and was awarded the Knight's Cross of the Iron Cross. As his fame grew, along with his immense list of kills, his hut in the barracks of Jagdgeschwader 27 became a sort of highly sought-after, very important person lounge. Marseille always had a well-stocked bar with drinks, and American jazz and swing music played loudly all the time. Even though this style of music was considered decadent by the Nazi party elite, Neumann turned a blind eye because he understood that his pilots' daily lives were already stressful enough. High-ranking German and Italian officers were frequent visitors to Marseille's cabin, which he also shared with his group mates. Besides Marseille, the first group also listed other great aces like Hans Arnold Stahlschmidt, Friedrich Körner, Werner Schröer, and Günther Steinhausen. And to keep track of his pilots' aerial victories, Eduard Neumann developed what might be the most peculiar counting system of World War II. He painted the ceiling of his wagon with figures of naked African beauties, each one with the name of a pilot. A white feather was added to the figure for each victory of the pilot. You can imagine that the figure of Marseille was the most covered of all of them. On April 18, 1942, the first group completed 1 year of operations in North Africa. And Neumann decided to throw a big festival to celebrate the date. He set up tents, games, and invited German and Italian colleagues from other units to join the festivities, which lasted the whole day. On May 11, he was promoted to major and awarded the German Cross in gold for his leadership. The next month, Jagdgeschwader 27 Commander Bernhard Voldinga became seriously ill and was evacuated to Europe. In this way, Eduard Neumann was appointed the overall commander of the unit. From then on, Jagdgeschwader 27 provided cover for the final offensive of Rommel into Egypt. Although the front line reached a stalemate at El Alamein, the air combat was still giving a good advantage to the Luftwaffe. On September 1st, Jagdgeschwader 27 had its most glorious day, with Marseille alone shooting down 17 enemy aircraft. But on the 30th of that same month, tragedy struck. The engine of Marseille's Messerschmitt caught fire in mid-flight, filling the cockpit with smoke. He then had to bail out of the aircraft, but when he did, his body was struck directly by the tail of the plane. He died instantly, crashing to the ground with his parachute still closed. Marseille's death greatly hurt Jagdgeschwader 27's morale, and Eduard Neumann honored him in his daily orders. His successes against our most dangerous opponents, the English, were unique. We can be happy and proud to have counted him as one of us. There are no words to express what his loss means to us. He leaves behind an obligation for us to follow in his footsteps, both as a human being and as a soldier. His spirit will remain forever as an example for this unit. 2 days after Marseille's death, the first group was transferred to Sicily, but he ended up being called back to the desert on October 23rd, when the British started the Second Battle of El Alamein. This time, the British force would be impregnable, forcing Rommel to retreat across the desert, losing all the positions gained in 1942. On November 12th, the Jagdgeschwader 27 was permanently evacuated from North Africa, and Neumann managed to take his famous wagon with him, that incredible French circus wagon, which finished the round trip to Africa, crossing the Mediterranean twice, despite enemy aircraft and submarines. After decades of being forgotten, the wagon was completely restored and delivered to the Hanover Aeronautical Museum, where you can visit it today, just like I did in 2011. Take a look at it. Honestly, this is something I really wanted to do. I'm here in Eduard Neumann's wagon. Eduard Neumann, a fighter commander in Africa. Here, look, you have the pilots' names with the African motifs here. Look, that's cool, man. This is really worth seeing. Over there, look, bed of Neumann. Photos. Here is a little curtain in a very African style. Radio equipment, table with maps. This is wonderful. From the outside. Very cool. As for Eduard Neumann, he left the command of Jagdgeschwader 27 in April 1943 and was promoted to lieutenant colonel in August. The following year, he became Jagdfliegerführer, or fighter commander in Romania, and organized the entire air defense of the Ploiesti oil fields. Promoted to colonel in October 1944, he took the position of fighter commander of northern Italy, a position he held until the end of the war. His first group was the most successful of the 4 groups of Jagdgeschwader 27, shooting down a total of 989 aircraft throughout World War II. After the war, Eduard Neumann remained a respected and beloved figure among war veterans. He always attended the annual meetings and veterans associations. He passed away at the age of 93 on August 9th, 2004. So, did you like this video too? Then give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to get notifications when I post more videos. I'll stop here. Thank you so much for watching, and here's a big hug from Sala de Guerra.